Between March 2022 and March 2023, 15% of all new iPhone buyers in the United States were switching from an Android device.
What?
Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, Mitchell, you're not in Vietnam anymore. You're not walking by yourself. That's not your dog. Guys, I've had a recent life update I need to share with you guys. We have made it through. We have made it through. We are in America. Woo! I have moved back to Los Angeles, California, and apparently this is my new dog, or my family's new dog that I have to help take care of. I want you guys to meet the newest member of my family, Maggie. Maggie, sit. Maggie is a rescue dog. She's a shepherd mix. She's absolutely the sweetest dog ever, and she's actually really well trained. Now, these numbers come to us from the Consumer Intelligence Research Partners, or panel. Partners panel. It's essentially a company that does research on consumer trends and consumer behavior here in the United States. And like it or not, a lot of trends that we see globally kind of start here in the US. A lot of the new tech from major players gets released here first. So I think it's important that we break down why people are leaving iPhone and moving to Android. Reason number one, their phone was aging and it needed repair, or it did not serve them any well. Now, at first I was like, this doesn't really tell us much about why someone would pick an iPhone over an Android phone, but actually it kind of tells us a lot. When we talk about phone repairs, it kind of goes without saying that there's just less models of iPhone than there is Android. So getting your device repaired if you had an iPhone is relatively simple and straightforward, just because there's so many less phones that repair shops need to stock parts for. And it's much easier to find parts for an iPhone, especially in the United States. Now, reason number two was that they wanted new features, new accessory options. And when I think about that, I go, wait, on Android, we get tons of new features. In fact, different manufacturers will give different phones different feature sets to really kind of make it easier for a smartphone buyer to find like the perfect fit. If you want a phone with a huge display and a stylus, crazy cameras, S23 Ultra. If you want a really smart smartphone experience that has a bunch of assistant features and AI, Google Pixel 7, what I'm using for this, right? But then talking about accessories, it just goes back to the fact that there's less iPhone models, and that means that there's more accessories. Manufacturers for accessories need to make less devices. Manufacturers for devices need to make less SKUs of their products simply because there's less iPhones. And that's actually one reason that I was really surprised that I was able to get a quad lock case for my Pixel 7 Pro. It's the case I'm using right now. I can mount it on my bicycle. I love it, offers fantastic protection, but it is a little bit hot of a case. You guys can check out that review and I'll have it linked up here for you. Cost. And this is one that really shocked me. But because Apple has created this reputation of being a premium offering, when people find out that they can get a refurbished iPhone 13 Pro off Amazon for like 500, 600 bucks, it really makes it seem like, oh, this is an incredible value and I want to go ahead and get this device. That's just got to do with the reputation that Apple has at being a premium offering. And it really shows that if people can get that premium offering for a not premium price, they're going to jump at it simply because of the reputation that the brand has as being better or being a step above other competing brands. The fourth and final reason is community. It's the one that you guys have probably been expecting. It is iMessage. And just to touch on iMessage really quick, other YouTubers have talked about this a lot, but Americans are notoriously stubborn when it comes to switching from technology, and thus WhatsApp unfortunately isn't very popular here. And because of that, I find myself using like Instagram more to message friends than I do WhatsApp or even Facebook Messenger, simply because Instagram is so ubiquitous here in the United States. Now, looking at these numbers, I found to be quite interesting and quite enlightening. Now, before I had this idea that essentially iMessage and some of the things in the Apple ecosystem just made it easier to use an iPhone in the United States. But really, I think if we look at things like repairs, if we look at services, if we look at connected devices, unless you're hardcore in the Amazon ecosystem with their Alexa line of home products, possibly in the Google Nest ecosystem and the whole Google ecosystem of products, or in the Samsung ecosystem, which isn't that big for home products, which seems really, really odd. The Apple ecosystem is just kind of ubiquitous, and it's kind of foolproof in that if you have an iPhone, you can be ensured that you are going to have the maximum compatibility across accessories, the most access to repairs, the most access to services that work well with your device. It really makes it a clear picture that choosing an Apple product, here in the United States at least, offers an experience where all of your accessories work together, all of the accessories you could possibly want, whether it be for your car, whether it be a camera accessory, are in general always going to be made and tailor fit for iPhone before other companies. And I think as the rest of the world begins to develop more and people begin having more and more money to spend on cell phones, I think we're just going to see more people switching to Apple simply because Apple is just such a seamless user experience that's relatively simple in regards to accessories, repairs, and whatnot. And as much as I want to say that I love Android and the way Android does things, if I was someone that wasn't hardcore into tech and maybe doing some of my own repairs or making YouTube videos, I would probably pick an iPhone. Peace.